love you all. Welcome all you lovers to the Florida Love Show. This is your love hour right before happy hour, sponsored by Florida Love. Join us each week as we spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love. Now, back to spreading love.
This is for you, Kenny. It's the Florida Love Show, paying love forward is the theme. It's the Florida Love Show, hosted by Kenny and his dream. Every special guest brings their love to the set, and the interview flies, it all comes alive like a duet. He wears many hearts, so he has a very special side. In the Brooklyn Cafe, it's a big love buffet. With roses galore, man, you are adored. Come take a bouquet. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Make your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Shine your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Love this man. Live your dreams. Make your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Give the gift of love and pay it forward and go. Give a kiss, give a hug. It's the Florida Love Show. Love you, Kenny.
Love you, Sharon. Cheers to Sharon. So Sharon created the Florida Love Show song, and also it was written also by, so together Sharon created the show and the Florida Love Song. And so we're over 60 straight shows, 60 straight Fridays, and I am so excited for this show because we are loving dads today. June is Father's Day month here at the Florida Love Show. I love you, Dean. I love you, love you, love you, love you, Dean. So please keep the comments coming. So we're spreading love in the Florida community and transforming the world with love. I'm Kenny Love, founder and creator of Florida Love and the Florida Love Show, and we're a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. Allison, love you, love you, love you. Spreading love from Texas. I love you. I love watching from Texas. So please keep your comments coming. So here at Florida Love, again, we're going to be loving dads. We're going to be loving dads on the show today. Oh, love you, Dean. He says you guys are the best. And so all dads, I'm sending my love to all dads in the world. So here at Florida Love, our mission is to love all 7 billion human beings. We spread love all over the world. We transform the world with love. And for me, love is the absence of judgment. So love is no judgment, no gossip, no criticism, no anger, no hatred, no resentment. Love is love. Love is I love you. And I say I love you to everybody. So on my way to the show today, I came to Publix and I got my roses and I said I love you to everybody. And I had a lot of fun. I started giving out roses to everybody. And when I give out roses to everybody and I say I love you, they say I love you back. And that's what Roses for Change is all about. So actually, I'm going to play a news clip where I give out roses to teenagers and I say I love you, because the show today is going to be not just about loving dads, but also loving the kids, loving children, loving the teenagers. So please play the news clip.
We're continuing to bring you inspiring stories from our area about people changing their communities for the better. Tonight, WPTV News Channel 5's Chris Gilmore shares the story of a man on a mission to spread love, one rose at a time.
Roses are red and Ken Lerman's suit is too.
Love you, Anthony.
If you see his bouquets, he has a message for you.
Man, love you, brother.
The 55-year-old loves love,
I love you.
and he now uses roses to let people know it.
No, I love you.
There's some pain behind Lerman's purpose. His Roses for Change campaign began this summer after he and people across the country witnessed the fallout following the death of George Floyd while in police custody.
How can one human being do that to another human being? Like, I was crying when I saw it.
Armed with roses and a message of love, Lerman says he wanted to reach those most affected.
I got to give this to all the African Americans. They're hurting.
His message has since caught on both online and in Palm Beach County, where he regularly shares love and roses to people of all colors. We caught up with Lerman with 100 of his favorite flowers in hand at the Milagro Center in Delray Beach.
A lot of learning goes on every day here in the Milagro Center, but today's lesson consisted of some flowers and 3 words going a long way.
I love you.
I was surprised and I was like, oh, I love you too.
A lot of these teens say it's been a while since they've heard those words directed at them, and even longer since they have been given flowers.
It was kind of weird at first. I was like, roses, giving someone flowers. It was kind of weird because I didn't expect that, but it's pretty nice. It's a really nice gesture.
He said, I love you, you stay safe, and he told my grandma happy birthday too.
Lerman says he hopes the connection he makes with strangers leaves a lasting impact.
That's my mission every single day, to spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love.
Because maybe all you need is love. In Delray Beach, Chris Gilmore, WPTV News Channel 5.
And you can have a kiss.
Love you, Chris Gilmore. So I gave out roses to all these teenagers and said, I love you. Many of the teenagers had not heard I love you in years. So I'm about us all saying I love you now. Who could you say I love you to now? And for me, I could pass right now. I could pass on this show. So we only have now to say I love you. So I say I love you to everybody. So I love you all. Yes, your dad's in heaven, Allison. I love your dad. What was your dad's name, Allison? Please let everybody know. I love your dad. So your dad's like an angel right here. And again, we're going to love dads on the show, and we're going to love children and teenagers. And love you, Jadarian. Love you all. Love you, love you. So just a little bit, I want to show you this because this is my dad. So this is my dad. This is Benny Love. I'm Kenny Love. This is Benny Love. My dad was 20 years older than my mom when they got married. And so my dad he had me when he was 50. So here he's probably in his 70s and I'd say I'm in my 20s. So that's Benny Love. So I love you so much, Dad. I'm like so honored to have this. Like I'm just so moved that my dad is like right with me right now. And I am my dad and I am my mom and I owe them my life because they gave me life. So we're going to be loving dads, moms. We're going to be loving everybody on the show today. So I'm so honored to have my dad with me on the show today. And just a little bit of love I want to talk about. So one of the things I believe is that if I spread love, love you, Tina, love you, love you. So Tina Weiss, who just said, she's so glad to be on the show. She's the executive director of the Hugs and Smiles Children's Foundation, who I call Tina Love. So the two guests I have on the show are very involved with the Hugs and Smiles Children's Foundation. And there's a huge event on this Sunday, okay, where Valeria is going to be selling her paintings and painting, and they're going to share more about that. But that's why I'm loving the children and the teens as well as the dads on the show today. So I just want to share this because Nadia Love, who is Nadia Wasif, but Nadia Love, and this is, I was so moved when I saw this, but Maria Love, her mom, I love your mom so much. So I just want to say I love you to Maria. So this is like why I do this, because I get my life out of loving everyone. So Maria wrote to Nadia on Facebook, love you, Tina. Maria wrote to her daughter, proud of my firstborn, congratulations on being on the show. And Nadia wrote back, yay, thanks, Mommy. Now, I was in tears when I saw this. This is what life is all about. And I mean, when my parents say they're proud of me, that's really all I want to hear. And to me, that's them saying they love me. So here Maria's telling Nadia how much she loves her and that how proud of her she is. So I love your mom, Maria, so much, and I hope you're watching, Maria. Please let me know. So at Florida Love, we created this new initiative called the Florida Loving Hug, which is to give someone a hug and say I love you every day to someone or everybody, to spread love all over the world. So for me, this is my life, the Florida Loving Hug, to give everybody hugs and say I love you every day. And so we're spreading love all over the world. And I always talk about, and I was just saying before, how love is the absence of judgment. Love you, Tina. You're welcome. Love you, love you. And I want to play a video about love and about kindness and about, anyway, I'm just going to play the video and we'll talk about it after. But it's about, this is what the world needs now. Love, sweet love.
We need more humanity, more connectivity, and less negativity. We need more compassion, more empathy, and less judgment. We need more love, more kindness, and less mistrust. When we see someone, we only see where they are now, not who they might have been or what they could have had, and more importantly, who they could be in the future. We do this to everyone around us, limiting their potential. If someone needs to connect, don't reject them. You never know how it might affect them.
Hello everyone, this is my daddy and my little brother Leo, and today we are doing Dance Monkey all together. Shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by, and now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you, see you, see you every time. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna cry. Now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I said, oh my dear, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my dear, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life, but you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you, see you, see you every time. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna cry. Now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, 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 oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, 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 eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
When they kiss the kid. You know, I love being live because stuff happens. And again, I always say I can pass now. So I'm going to live every moment. So stuff just happened before. I apologize that the sound went off, but I'm back. And I'm back loving everybody. And Dean, thank you for that about loving a picture of my dad. I love you, love you. Also, Debbie Maguire wrote in to you, Kelly. So Debbie, love, I love you, love you, love you, love you. Is it Debbie or Deborah?
Deborah, my sister.
Deborah.
From California.
From California, spreading love from California. So we love you here in Florida, Deborah love, and Kelly loves you, and thank you for sharing all your love from California. And that's your sister. Oh my God, sister love. So this is what life's all about. So again, please keep your comments coming. Love you, love you, love you, Deborah. And so today's, again, a very special show to love dads, to love kids, to love everyone. And again, June is Dad Love Month. So I'm going to bring on my first guest, who I love so much. She's so special. And this is Nadia Love. And Nadia Love is such love. And again, like I shared before about her mom, Maria, you know, spreading love and sharing how proud she is of her eldest daughter is so special. So I love you, love you, love you, Nadia. Welcome to the Florida Love Show.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So please share with everybody your love for your dad, Muhammad.
Yeah, so I'm the eldest from my siblings in my family. My mom's from Puerto Rico, my dad's from Pakistan. We were raised here in South Florida. We grew up in Weston, and not too far from here. I have 3 sisters and a brother. My dad was, raised in Pakistan. He grew up with Islam. That was a big part of his upbringing. So with that, he's Muslim, and we were actually raised Muslim. So that was a big part of my life because this show is all about love. And growing up, not only myself, but my siblings and I, my family and I, we faced a lot of prejudice and a lot of Islamophobia, especially after 9/11, which was huge. My siblings and I were very young when that happened. So it was sometimes difficult. We faced a lot of racial slurs. We would get some weird looks. Teachers in the public school systems wouldn't always treat us, I guess, equally as maybe some of the other children. It was something that we had to overcome with growing up. And it got to a point where our parents were like, when people ask where your dad's from, maybe just tell them they're from India, because it kind of keeps things a little ambiguous. And not that that was a lie, but it was maybe just not the full truth. And it came to a point where it was something that we felt like we had to hide and not be truly authentic with everyone, just for fear of maybe any racial slurs, any judgment, any really negative connotation that they may have of myself or my siblings. And it was difficult to hear some of the stories that my siblings may have gone through. I'm the eldest, and I was born lighter skin. So, at first look and first interactions and impressions of me from other people, they probably didn't think that I was raised Muslim, but it was something where I had my youngest sister and my youngest brother. They were darker skinned, so they faced probably a lot more prejudice than I did. So being an older sibling in the family and being older, than my siblings, of course, for me that was so heartbreaking to hear stories of the things that would happen in school, the bullying that they would face, and I faced a little bit of that too, but I didn't probably face it to the same extent nor the same level that my siblings had faced it. So it was very frustrating for me as an older sibling to hear of the stories, and it came to a point where I had to be strong, and years went by. 9/11 was many years ago, so tensions upon Islamophobia had definitely eased up quite a bit. So we had learned to kind of toughen up a little bit and stand up for ourselves. But something that really, it took me a while to kind of get to was coming from a place of gratitude and a place of love. You kind of just have to meet where people are at and loving other people. If you're doing the best that you can as a person and coming from a place of gratitude and a place of love, that's the best that you can hope for. And maybe not everyone is going to take that. Maybe not everyone will agree with you. And no matter what their opinions are, no matter what their judgments are, that's okay. Everyone's in a different place in their life, and you just have to love them for who they are, from where they are in their life. So that was something that even myself, I definitely had gone through several experiences where I wasn't fully loving myself. And I definitely was blaming my upbringing. I was blaming the experiences that I was going through, and I was taking it more like things that were happening to me rather than things that were happening for me. So they say experience is the greatest teacher, and that's definitely something that allowed me to be in a place where I'm at today, where I try to do everything that's always coming from a place of gratitude and a place of love, not only for myself and where I'm at in my life, but also for the way that my parents raised me. They weren't perfect, right? And nobody is, but everything they did always came from a place of love. So that's something that I'm so grateful to have been brought up with, because it's so unfortunate that not everybody was brought up with that kind of love. And my parents did everything in their power to provide everything that they could for my siblings and I. And that kind of goes in hand with my role in Hugs and Smiles. I am the Chief Operating Coordinator for Hugs and Smiles Children's Foundation. It is a nonprofit that unites children of all ethnicities through music, art, and dance. And right now, the public school systems, they don't have the same type of funding that we used to have years ago that would allow students in a way, like a creative outlet for them to express their feelings and their emotions. And music, dance, and art are the perfect outlets for students and children to be able to do that. So Tina, our executive director, and myself, along with the rest of our advisory board, our executive board, all of our volunteers, that's something that we advocate for, providing these free programs for children to have a way to express themselves in a creative way. And it really does start at home. Not everyone, again, is raised with the same privileges that maybe some of us were. Not everyone is raised with the same kind of love that my parents gave me. And it's sad, and it's heartbreaking, but we are the advocates for change. If we are putting that out there, I think more people will follow. And again, it starts at home, spreading love and kindness to children so that they can take that on for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, so I love you so much, Nadia, and we shared so much this week about your dad and about being Muslim, and your dad was one of 16 kids.
Yeah, one of 16 kids.
One of 16 kids in Pakistan, and so she taught me a lot about being Muslim, and one of the things about love is to learn from others and just to be completely open. So I was just being completely open and learning, and I learned about your nose ring on the left, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So how come you have a nose ring on the left?
Yeah, so it's funny. So I've gone through different jobs where they're like, oh, you can't really have that. And I tell them, well, it is a cultural and a traditional thing in my family. In the Pakistani culture, the women will traditionally get a nose ring or nose piercing on the left side, as it's linked to fertility, for reproductive purposes, and just kind of like a way to signify that you're ready to start a family. So it's something that my dad was very okay with. I guess it's not your typical, like, maybe most American fathers would be like, not, it's like, oh, piercings and things like that. But my dad was very much okay with that, very much a supporter of it. So I wear my nose ring on the left side proudly. That's part of my heritage. Yeah,
it's part of your heritage. And your dad, when I made the slideshow, I was crying. I mean, he is just such pure love, and he was a lot older than your mom, right?
Yeah, that's something that Kenny Love and I have in common. My father is 20 years older than my mother. So when Kenny and I had met, we were talking about all these different things in our life. And the way that I had described my father was that he was very active in our life, but the way that he was active and the role he kind of played in our lives were, he was kind of like a grandfather figure, because he was 20 years older than my mom, so he didn't have the same kind of energy levels that maybe my mom did, or maybe other dads in the neighborhood would have with like going outside to play sports with their kids or taking them to ride their bike. My dad didn't have those same kind of energy levels, so a lot of the things that he did and a lot of the things that he would say to us came from a place of a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom. And that's kind of how we viewed our dad sometimes, kind of like a grandfather figure. And if you're hearing this, Dad, it's not because you're old. But yeah, everything he did was always, out of love. Something that I take from my father, aside from our love for food and our love for cooking. So my dad is like a chef. For anyone that's watching the show that knows my family, they know very well that my parents love to cook and give to everyone. And the way they love to give is through food and through cooking. So you come over and you will leave so full. You'll leave with leftovers.
Yeah, so lots of food
Yeah.
in your family, and you learned how to cook from your parents and your dad.
Yeah.
And so I want to play the slideshow of your dad just to show everybody your beautiful, amazing, oh my God, special dad. I love him. I love Muhammad. So please play the slideshow.
That was beautiful.
Wow, so what's it like to see that?
It brings up a lot of emotions. I saw my family and my dad, and it was crazy, you know, coming from Islamic culture. We grew up very disciplined, very, very much conservative. My mother also grew up conservative, so the household was very conservative. We always had a curfew. We had to dress a certain way, things like that. But yeah, I come to appreciate those things because I couldn't have lived in a better upbringing, in a better family. My parents have given so much to me and my siblings, and if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be in the place that I am today.
Yeah, you have such a loving family. I noticed a lot of food in the photos.
Yeah, we're always eating.
Beautiful. And who was the little boy at the end that your dad's holding?
Yeah, so that's my nephew. I have a half sister. She has a son. He's now 16, so that's a few years old, that picture, but his name is Sebastian. That is my one and only nephew. He's like the love of our life, right? He's my dad's first and only grandson right now. So that brings him a lot of joy to be able to be alive and be here to love him.
Yeah, so your dad is so loving. So Sharon saw the slideshow, and she was so moved that Sharon picked out this song that she wants to love you and your dad Muhammad right now, and just to play this song for you to love you.
Okay.
Hi, Nadia.
Hi.
So, you know, I'm Jewish, so that makes us cousins.
Okay.
And I love my dad more than anything in the world, so I totally get it. So when I think of forever love, like our first love, which is usually our dad, when you're daddy's little girl, this song, which was originally done by Dolly Parton and then by Whitney Houston, is for you, from you to your dad. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I will think of you each step of the way, and I will always love you. I will always love you. Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye, please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need, but I will always love you. I life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you dream of, and I wish you joy and happiness. But above all of this, I wish you love, and I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always love you.
Thank you, guys. That was very moving. Yeah.
So what was it like hearing that song relating to your dad and how much you'll always love him?
That was amazing. It brought me back to a lot of memories of the little things that my dad would always do for me. My favorite fruit's mango. He would always go and get me fresh fresh mango juice for me all the time. Go to the Indian store and bring me a bunch of little treats that I always liked. We loved to eat fruit together, and that was something that, you know, you eat a lot with your hands in Arab culture, in Islamic culture, in India,
Israeli
and
too.
Pakistan. Yeah. So we eat a lot of fruit with our hands, and that was something that, I know, something so basic, such a simple thing, but it was the simple pleasures that we enjoyed together in life. And it just reminded me like how similar I am to my parents, especially my dad. He can be very stubborn. I can be very stubborn sometimes because we want things done a certain way. Because we feel like, oh, we're like the best way to do it is, well, we'll do it ourselves, right? And another thing is my entrepreneurial skills. I'm involved in several different organizations. I like to help a lot of people. I've worked in several different businesses. I've had several different businesses, just like my dad. And I have 2 business degrees. I did finish college. I have an education. And my dad, he's always, you know, pushing like, I want you to, you know, get a 9-to-5 job. And I'm like, here I am with my stubbornness. I'm like, no, I want to do things. I want to do so many different things, and I want to make a greater impact. I have a bigger vision for myself, a bigger vision for life. And, you know, he wants me to take the more stable route. And I'm like, no. And where does that come from? It comes from him. And I sometimes wonder if he realizes that. So, yeah, I get my entrepreneurial skills from my dad.
Yeah, so Nadia, just so you know, like your father, I'm sure he believes in everything that you could possibly do to have that extraordinary life that you're planning, not something that's kind of ordinary. But as a parent, I can tell you we're always like trying to keep our kids safe, right? Like to err on the side of caution, like, no, don't jump, don't do. But really know that he believes in you, and whatever you do and wherever you fly, he will be the wind beneath your wings because of who you are, which is a tribute to he was. And, you know, when you were talking about the mango, how he prepared the mango for you, right? That is so, my dad as well. When you come to visit my parents also, and you sit down, all of a sudden my father, he makes you a salad, he makes you this, he asks you that, he brings it to you. And yeah, put more lemon, put more salt, put more olive oil. Like he wants it to be delicious, right? He wants it. And then if you fall asleep, he'll be the first one to run and get a little blanket and cover you. And it's that always extra thinking. When my children, who are now, you know, teenagers and in their 20s, were babies, we called him the Mr. Security Man, because he would go around the house and wherever we were with the kids and look, where could somebody possibly get hurt? And all the pillows from the couches would be on all the corners of everything. And it was just the cutest thing. We ended up buying him like a T-shirt that said like the security of the family, making sure everyone is in this cotton ball bubble.
That's
so
cute.
It's so wonderful to see and hear you speak about your dad that way, because I can so relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you love your dad so much. And so your mom wrote in
Oh,
How
did
much-
she?
What a beautiful love. Beautiful love. I love you, Maria. I love your mom so much.
I love you too, Mom.
And also, we had spoken about your mom. She's from Mayaquez, Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And I said to you, I love Aguadilla, and it's a big surfer town. So I've been to Mayaquez. What a fun place to dance with the Puerto Ricans that live, the locals, and just love them, and the food and everything. So I
Yep.
love you, Maria, and I love Puerto Rico.
Yeah, me too. We've gone every year pretty much all my life. So have a lot of family there. Beautiful little island, beaches, mountains, beautiful culture, beautiful people. Very much, aside from the Islamic culture and the Pakistani culture that I embody, the Puerto Rican culture and the Hispanic culture is very much a part of me as well.
Yeah,
So.
and it's so amazing because you and I, we were sharing all week about your love for your dad, and your dad is brilliant. How many languages does he know?
Yeah, he knows 7. He's very smart, very smart.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's a genius. I said, he knows 7 languages. And what did I ask you to ask him?
You asked me to ask him how to say I love you in all the languages.
And when you asked your dad, you were sharing a lot with your dad about love this week.
Yeah, and so we were having these conversations. I was asking him questions like, oh, like how do you say I love you in all these different languages? And I know English and Spanish. I had to learn Arabic because we prayed in Arabic in Islam. But he was saying all this stuff, and I had never heard him say I love you in the different languages. So it was very eye-opening to me because we were connecting on a different level that we hadn't before. So it was very beautiful. And I thank you, Kenny, also for that opportunity for me to be able to connect on that kind of level with my father because it was something that I'd never really thought of. So thank you again. It was beautiful to be able to connect with him on something like that. It was part of who he grew up with, or how he grew up. English and Spanish were the later languages that he learned, and that's how we really communicate with my dad in English for the most part. I mean, he knows Spanish, but we speak English at home, and so it was nice to hear him talk about his family and a little bit about his upbringing and
Great
more
to
of his
discover that he knows other languages that well, right?
Yeah.
Did he have the right accent when he said those things?
Yeah, so growing up in Pakistan, really to just kind of get around, he would tell me you kind of have to know at least 3 languages in order to be able to get around, communicate with everybody. So that was just very normal over there. A lot of people there, they know at least 2 languages in Pakistan.
How many do you know?
I know 2, yeah. So fluently, I know English and Spanish. Spanish, of course, I get from my mother's side of the family.
But a little bit of Arabic, I thought you said.
So I had to know Arabic to pray, right? Because in Islam, you pray in Arabic. But you'd be surprised. Of all the languages my father knows, he doesn't speak Arabic. Because in Pakistan, they don't speak Arabic.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll speak Urdu, Hindi, Bengali. So he prayed in Arabic, and he could, we were able to pick up on a couple phrases, but we don't speak Arabic.
Oh.
So yeah, that's something that people don't really understand, but that's the reason why. In Pakistan, you didn't need to know Arabic. You just have to know how to pray in it. So.
Yeah, I always say love is no judgment. Love is the absence of judgment. So I actually want to get this out right now about Muslim. The Muslim religion is about love and peace.
Yep.
True?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the rest is all judgment, ishkabibble garbage that people make up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so when you're praying in a mosque, it's all about love and peace, isn't it?
You go in bringing a peaceful energy, and you go out with the same.
Yeah.
It's your love for yourself, your loved ones, to God, which in Islam we call Allah, but we see it as the same God as everybody. It's not like there's all these different gods, but everyone has their own perspective, their own judgment, but that's how we interpret God, Allah. It's all the same.
Yeah, Allah is love and peace. And your dad, Muhammad, I love him so much. He reminds me of my dad. He's such a loving, and he's brilliant, genius, peaceful. He looks just so friendly, too. I don't know. I had this,
he talks to everybody.
Talks to everybody. Right? There you go. And that's the entrepreneurship that you have. And there was another thing we talked about. You know, he's got a lot of 8s in his birthday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
what does 8 mean in the Muslim religion?
Yeah, so 8, you have the 8 different guardians in Islam. And yeah, my dad was born August 18, 1948. So that's the 8th month. 18, you've got the 8, and then 1948. So it's pretty crazy how that all kind of happened. I love numerology, if anyone kind of gets into that, and it's something I never really thought of. I brought it up to my dad, and he was like, oh, wow, I never really thought about that. So that was, again, another thing that we were able to connect on, because it was something that was never really spoken about or thought about in that way. So
Yeah, so God is love. So when we get crazy coincidence, Allah is love. Allah is love. And the fact that we were sharing about 8s, I said, is that your dad's lucky number?
yeah, and he doesn't really have a lucky number, but yeah, I thought that was so cool.
To talk about coincidence, my mom's birthday is January 18, 1948. So they were born the same year, and she has an 8 in her birthday, and 18 in Hebrew is chai, which is life, which is similar to what you were saying about the 8s.
Oh, wow.
So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love the synchronicities.
yeah.
Yeah, so God is spreading love right now. That's a miracle right there.
Yeah.
That your mom's birthday, same year, same
Same year.
8s as your dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crazy. These are
It is.
These are the miracles. God spreads love and creates miracles. Yeah. So I love you so much, Nadia. I love you so much. You're so special, and your dad is so special. And the other thing I learned is Muhammad is the most popular name in the world. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. And
Like I said, what's your dad's name?
Muhammad.
And his name is Muhammad. Yeah. It's so beautiful, you know, just to be open and love and learn. And again, no judgment, just love. Just love. So is there anything you'd like to say to your dad right now, live for Father's Day?
Yeah. So, Papi, because that's what we call my dad, Papi. We've had a lot of rough times for the way that you were raised and the way that you tried to raise us, but I appreciate you for everything, and I'm so grateful for all the lessons that you've taught us and all the little things that we've done together. I take a lot after you, and I'm so grateful again for the way that you raised us, and I love you so much.
Yeah, you love him so much. Forever and ever and ever. And we only have now.
Yeah.
And like I don't have my dad, except I have him in spirit, but you have your dad. So what would you love to do with your dad on Father's Day?
We're pretty simple. As long as we can kind of spend some time together and eat a good meal, that's enough for me.
So just
Quality
spend some
time.
quality time together, eat a good meal.
Yeah.
Maybe some mangoes.
Yeah. It's
Is
mango
there a-
season. We're in summer, so.
Is there a mango chutney or something that mango?
Yeah, we have, we definitely eat, we've eaten with mango chutney before.
Wow. So just have a really quality time with your dad, with food and dinner. And, you know, one thing about the slideshow, your dad just loves his family so much. You just see it.
Yeah.
And we saw that good food, too.
Yeah, we saw that good food.
Yeah, we're always cooking.
We're coming to your house,
Yeah, we're
Nadia,
coming
for
to your
dinner.
house for dinner.
100%. My parents always have, like, there's always food. If they're not cooking every day, they had cooked the day before. There's always leftovers. You know, we were always like 5 kids at the house. So if aside from us, the neighbors would come over, the friends of friends, after school, all the kids would come over. Our house was a full house all the time. So everyone came over to our house for dinner. The family would come over to our house for Thanksgiving, for Christmas dinner, for all the occasions. We pretty much were hosting for every occasion.
Yeah, and your mom is watching now. Is there anything you'd like to say to your mom?
Yes, Mommy. Thank you for showing how proud you are of me all the time. I love hearing that. I maybe never tell you that, but I love when you say that. And I love you so much.
Beautiful. So I love you, Nadia, so much, so much, so much. I love your dad, Muhammad, your mom, Maria. I want to thank you for loving and being on the Florida Love Show today. So Maria just wrote, could you put up, Maria, what you just wrote again? We all come from God. God equals love, and we are all more similar than what we really think.
Yep, that's 100% true.
Yeah. Love you so much, Maria. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So special. Yep. So again, love you, Nadia. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So I love you all. So I want to introduce my next guest, who is very special to me, Kellyanne Maguire, who I call Kelly Love. And we're going to love her father, Thomas, today. But I just have to say, I want to talk about love karma for a second. So I love everybody. Kelly, who is so beautiful, walks in today with this. This is a rose in like a crystal ball. This is like my dream gift. I mean, I love roses, but a rose in a crystal ball, it's like God is love. This is love. And Kelly walked in with this today. So, Kelly, I love you so much. I love this so much.
Thank you.
I could sit here every night and do like one of these, like I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Do a love prayer. So I love you. So thank you. Thank you. So we're going to love Kelly's dad. And so, Kelly, welcome to the Florida Love Show.
Yeah.
And it's great to see you and Nadia together. So please share with everybody your love for your dad, Thomas.
Yes. First, I wanted to say thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. And I wanted to acknowledge Nadia first and just say she's a beautiful example, and I'm sure her dad is very proud of her. And we both serve for the Children's Foundation Hugs and Smiles. So we're already connected. But today we have a lot of similar things in common, as I lived with a Muslim family in Ocala, Florida for 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
And they took me like a daughter, and I helped raise the children, and I worked on the horse farm. And so about the food, and my dad came to the farm and they welcomed my dad. He stayed there, my whole family. And so I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And your dad, I'm sure, and your mom are very proud of you, and you're so eloquent. I mean, I'm not a great speaker, and but she's so eloquent, and I'm happy to be a part of this family.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Wow. So again, crazy coincidences that you lived with a Muslim family and you both didn't know that.
Yeah.
And those are the miracles that God is love, spreading love all over the world.
Yeah, I'm Kellyanne Maguire, so I'm real Irish. And my father's parents are both from Ireland. And my father's mother had 7 children. And we're from Atlantic City, New Jersey. And my mother and father met on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. And my mother saw my father and she said, I'm going to marry him. And he's really good looking. But the most important thing my father taught me is to love everybody. And when I was in school, when we were growing up, he always said, speak to the kids that don't have anybody. So we were, I had my 3 sisters, but I was always friends with everybody. I wasn't in any group or any clique or anything like that. And so I learned from my father many values. The most important thing I like to show him is that I respect our name, and I will always honor our name and make him proud of me, which I know he's proud of me. I don't even have to hear it. He would like any father, like our Father in heaven, they want us all to do good things, and they're so proud of us. But just watching him, how he honored his parents and his siblings, and just the people at work. There was a lot of stories later that I heard, like my father let everybody live with him. He did special things. We weren't a rich family, but we were rich in love, and we had everything we needed. But people came up to me and they said, well, your father, he always did everything for us, so he did things quietly, but he's a respectable man. And everybody always says, your father is just the nicest man, and I've never heard a bad thing about him, and I've never heard him say a bad thing about anybody, and that speaks volume. But there's so many things. I mean, it could be a whole show. But today, which Kenny knows and some of the people here know, our family is going through a great, great tragedy because our mother is really sick. So she's having her last times with us. And our father is there for us, even though they were divorced like years ago, but he's been with us through this and with my mom. And I think a father's love shows that, even though they might not be together as far as married, but he still shows us what a man can love a woman. So I hope to find a man like my father. And he also shows us that when you love God, that even if something happens to my mother, that, we'll be all connected. My father many times said, because he was in California taking care of my mother, and he always said, Callie, are you looking at the moon tonight? And I said, yeah, and he said, it's the same moon. And we laughed, and we always spoke like that. But there's a lot of things to say, and this is happening with my mother as we speak today. So it's really hard to be here. So I don't know, I can't really say much, but a lot of things with my father's family, they liked the simple things. They were very intelligent, but they liked to go to the beach. We spent many days at the beach. And my dad always said, relax, relax. You don't need to wear those fancy clothes. You're beautiful. You can wear anything. And he didn't say much about what he didn't like. But it was somebody that you could always go to talk to. And all my friends could go to talk to my dad. And he listened to everybody, so he was a father. And that's another important thing for Father's Day out there, because there's many children that don't have fathers. So there's people out there, if you look for it or you ask questions. Like, he was a mentor to many young men and women. We had we had 4 girls. So there was many girls over the house, and they all love my dad. So, and he has one nephew, also like Nadia. We have that in common as well, Ethan. So that's our pride and joy of our family. And my father's brothers and sisters are really important to him. And then my father was remarried to Joan Roof, and he had a son. Joan has a son, Michael Roof, so that's a brother. And their whole family was really welcoming, so we love them. And that's about it. I think our parents give us life, and what we do with it is our gift back to them. And that's it. I feel like I was in the right place today because I needed love. I serve on a lot of boards for many years, as far as I'm a partner with Dillard High School for Art as Education. And then I served on the Public Art Committee and the Cultural Art Committee since 2013 in Pompano Beach. So we do a lot of the sculptures around town and community events. And that also ties into Valerio, who is having the art show on Sunday. She just did a community volunteer program through the community Grant Foundation of Broward. They were awarded the foundation grant, and she painted the storm drains, which also brings awareness that you don't put down the things of the storm drains. Because when we're speaking about love, we have to also think about the environment and the animals, and to keep this beautiful earth together. And that was one thing my dad taught me too. He was always reading, and he's reading always about, he knows everywhere, whether he's been everywhere, but he knows about everywhere. So when I sit there and talk to him, I know I could talk to him about all these things. So he's been a teacher to me, he's been a mentor, and then I had a terrible car accident when I was like 20. And so my father saved my life too, because I was hospitalized and I had very difficult time. So a lot of people see our family as always smiling. You'll see in the pictures, and it looks like we all have it together. But we've been through a lot of tragedies, especially with my illness, and but we got through it. And there's always connections that you can make, and somebody that you could meet that maybe you speak to them, and that where the culture comes in. If you respect the different people, you can make connections, and that it could help you in other ways. So that's it. Thank you.
So you are so beautiful, and your dad is so special that he taught you to love everybody, to be open, and your dad's brilliant, a reader, and he's so intelligent. And when I made the slideshow of your dad, Thomas, I was crying. He's very handsome, you're right, very handsome, and very affectionate. You could just tell he just loves everybody, and you love everybody. So I want to show everybody the slideshow of your beautiful dad, because I feel like he's right here on my shoulder. Please show the slideshow. Wow. So your dad is your hero, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad is definitely my hero.
Yeah. So Sharon saw the slideshow. She was crying like me, and she wanted to sing you a song to love you and your dad.
I would love that.
That's right. So Bette Midler's The Wind Beneath My Wings. My dad is my hero. Absolutely. I relate to everything that you said, and I want you to know that you are so special. The angel that has flown through him has flown through you as well, and I am also singing this for your mom and for her health.
Okay. Thank you.
but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know it. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the winds beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish I could be. Oh, and I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the winds beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, the winds beneath my wings. Oh, you are the wind beneath my wings. Fly away. You let me fly so high. Fly so high against the sky. So high we almost touch the sky. Thank you, thank God for you, the wind beneath my
That was the best. The music makes you feel good.
Yeah. Wow.
We all have this mic.
Wow. So I love you so much. That was so beautiful. And
Thank you.
yeah, so I love you, Dad Muhammad. Nadia, I love you, Dad Thomas, Kelly. And I'm sending healing prayers to your mom. And
Karen.
healing love.
Karen.
Karen. Sending healing prayers to your mom, Karen, and love.
And I
We
said,
all
when
are.
she gets out, you're going to do a whole show about her.
That's
Yes,
right.
I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Yes.
Is there a Kim Maguire?
Kim Ruth,
Kim Ruth? I think she just commented in
cousin.
before.
Yeah,
The
cousin Kim.
Okay.
And she's so close to my mother. They had the best times. And Kim Callahan also. That might be.
Okay,
But
so-
my mom has everybody, so
yes,
we're all with my mom, and we all love her so much.
Yeah, so we all love your mom, Karen, so much. Everybody was loving you and your mom and your dad and everybody. Susan's just writing in great show and how deep and special and beautiful you are. And so there's so much love being spread all over the world because of you. And Tina just wrote, love you all.
Okay.
So love you, love you, love you. I want to thank you. for
And
being
we
on
love
the
you,
show today.
Kenny, and appreciate everything. You're doing a great job,
Love you, love
especially
you.
in this time with the pandemic.
That's right. Keep
When it's
spreading
hard
the-
and you don't have the touch and you don't have all this stuff, so we are vaccinated though.
We're
so
finally we can hug. No 6 feet here.
Well, cheers to you, Kelly. I love you.
Thank you.
I love you. So thank you all for watching the Florida Love Show today. I love you all. And wow, I'm just so moved by Nadia's dad, Muhammad, and Kelly's dad, Thomas, and just the beautiful love that we have for our parents, absolutely, Tina, absolutely. So who could you go out and love? Who could you go out and say, I love you to? Who could you go out and give a card, a rose, anything to today? We only have now. So I love you all. Thank you for watching. Again, who can you give a rose to? I love you all. You've been listening to the Florida Love Show, where we've been spreading love in the Florida community. For more information, please contact me, Kenny Love, at 917-699-1995 or ken@florida-love.com or on our website, florida-love.com. See you next week, 3 p.m. Friday for the Friday Love Hour. Keep spreading love in your life and have a loving week. Love you all.